I can't believe most people missed this one. Well, a few days after the Nintendo Direct where Bandle was revealed, as well as the one where Song of Nunu got a release date, that being November the 1st, which is also where the Collector's Edition was revealed, Song of Nunu got another big drop. For those of you who don't know, as far as we know, Song of Nunu is a puzzle-based, story-driven adventure game. Think something like A Tale of Two Sons, or old-school platformers. And well, in the latest news, we get entire 4 minutes of teasers showing us what we'll see in the game. I do not believe any of this will spoil any of the story that's going to be in the game. After all, this is a story-driven game. Spoiling it would be silly. I do, however, believe that these 4 minutes are criminally underwatched. And so, we're going to fix it. So without further ado, let's get on it. The entire trailer is just Braum giving Nunu and Willem some lessons about adventuring. He talks about what they can find in the depths of the Freljord, what dangers await them and how they can survive them. All while the trailer is showing us some gameplay mechanics. Overall, it really sets up the tones and the feelings of the game really well. It is a heartwarming adventure about fun. But as we go through the environment, you'll see there seem to be some darker teasers hiding in the background. So let's see what kind of a story we can pick up here. At the beginning of the teaser, there is a quick supercut. It starts with a deeply frozen tree, at least I believe that is a tree, and some misplaced runes, which will likely be a puzzle. Because remember, puzzles will be a big part of this game too. Needless to say, the environment here and throughout the entire trailer looks awesome. We then get some quick shots of sliding and platforming deep within the mountains of the north. And then it shows us a quick puzzle with a suspiciously looking statue. More on that one in just a moment. We then learn that Nunu will be also dealing with some kind of magic, which makes sense since Willem is technically a projection of Yeti magic. And then we get this. This mountain looks suspicious for 2 reasons. First of all, I believe this is Winterspike, formerly known as Hearth-Home, which was Ornn's home before Volibear destroyed it. But you might also remember a high-quality rendition of this from the Call cinematic, where Sejuani ventured here to fight some Ursine. According to her latest story, they went here because they were looking for the Cauldron of Ornn. So if this is Hearth-Home, and if there really are the Ursine on the outside, then get ready for some creepiness too. And in fact, it seems like we will go there because, as you can see, Braum is serving as a sort of a tour guide. So after that, we get a quick shot of an avalanche showcasing the sliding minigames. Very much in character for Braum, who has done this a few times in the past. But then we also get a shot of wolves approaching Nunu, meaning that there will also likely be some kind of a combat system. Though, since we are talking about an adventure game, I'm thinking it will have the depths of Mario Sunshine or Croc. After that, we get a few shots of the party enjoying some warmth, and then Braum's lessons actually take us into the environment. Here we once again see what I believe to be Hearth-Home, but then we also get to see the beautiful fjords, with all the frozen ships that can belong to Winter's Claw, but looking at the design, it can also be Avarosen. And then we get this. At first sight, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Ursine, which makes me wonder, will we actually see some creepiness in this game? Is this a totem dedicated to the Volibear? Because if it is, it could be around the Winterspike, and at that point the lore will just start pouring in. But then the scene changes to this lush oasis in the middle of the frozen tundra. If you ask me what this could be, I believe it is going to be some forgotten magical refuge of the Yeti civilization. Of course, as far as we know, the Yetis disappeared. But that doesn't mean their magic couldn't linger around. So, I'm very much interested in this place. And then we also get some hints of life. We get to see this rainbow bird, which took me by surprise. I assume the rainbow visual effects are there for gameplay purposes. You know, visibility and stuff like that. But we also get these amazing frozen crabs, as well as, Oh yeah, a giant statue of a Yeti. So yeah, it seems like we will learn what happened to the Yetis. Because all of these Yeti puzzles seem to be teasing story. And then we also get an adorable updated model for the Poros. After this, Braum's lessons go to the gameplay side. We get to see some of the platforming levels, as well as gameplay such as knocking down pillars to make bridges, but also just casually exploring the Shrine of Anivia. Of course, the point is to show us that we will be dealing with some of these puzzles. And Nunu will use Swellsonger, which is his magical flute, to solve these puzzles. But if you look into the background, you can see that the Shrine of Anivia is being corrupted by black ice. With the black ice, of course, being true ice, corrupted by the Watchers. So the story here will probably go deeper than just solving light-based puzzles. After this, Braum tells Nunu about the wildlife, which is where we get this shot. A cave with thundering eyes and scratches on the sides. I believe this trailer is purposefully not showing us what's in there. Because right now we don't know if it is gonna be a Thunder Bear, which would be like a lesser bear version of Volibear, or if it is actually gonna be one of the Ursine. They are most likely just trying to avoid all kinds of spoilers. Now after that, we get to see some more of all the beautiful environment, where it seems like we will be exploring an Avarosen fortress. Or at least, I believe that's Avarosen because the entire place just looks peaceful. I mean, right outside you have some Krugs, I don't believe they need any introduction, as well as herds of Elnuk, which are very typical for Avarosen territories. But then we also get to see some of the dangerous frozen feral Yetis. Of course, these are the Yetis you get to see in Legends of Runeterra. What's important to mention is that these are likely not the same Yetis as the Yeti civilization which Willem comes from. Before the feral Yetis, there was also a nation of magical Yetis, which are represented by the statues in the background here. So who knows, maybe we'll get to see how these feral Yetis are their descendants. Anyway, after that we also get to see what I believe is like an alpha wolf that looks like an elemental wolf. At least I think it is elemental because it has stone shards jagging from its back. But then things get amazing. Because as you can see, not only will we get into the molten hearts of the mountains, but we'll also get to see Ornn's forge, as well as Ornn himself. And here is where the lore drops get crazy. If you look behind Ornn, you can see Everfrost and Trinity Force. These could be just Easter eggs. But remember that all the games that come out of Riot Forge are rooted around canon lore, which gets proven even more when you look to the other side. There you can see Doran's blade and Doran's shield. Now, some of you may think that this is impossible, this has to be just an Easter egg, because Doran is supposed to be in Ionia. He's the guy who made the Vuju blades. Well, here's where the old Ornn's voice line comes in for a clutch. Because you might have forgotten that, according to Ornn, Ornn taught Doran everything he knew. So it makes sense why he would have some of Doran's work here. Also, I kinda hope he'll craft the Infinity Edge here, just to tie in all the cinematics. We then get some more shots that further explore Ornn's forge. It really seems like this will be a big area for us to explore. And then things get a bit more peaceful as Braum talks about Lesson 3, which is all about friendship. Here we once again see Nunu using Swellsonger to call upon magic, and they even use this magic to build a bridge in one of the Yeti villages. But then Braum starts talking about an ancient race that kinda looked like giant Poros, which is when the game starts showing us all the Yeti puzzles. One of which is teasing that the Yetis are somehow related to Anivia. But that's not all. All of this art you can see here is telling us the story we already know from Lyssandra's bio. On the right you can see the three sisters. You can see Sorilda with the flail, Avarosa with the bow, and Lysandra not holding anything. You can see how the Yetis invited them in, but we can also see how Lysandra pulled out the true ice, which is something Avarosa and Sorilda did not approve. After which the War of the Three Sisters started and the Yetis joined the battle. I think this shot is purposefully cut here not to show us any spoilers, because we don't know what happened next, we don't know how the Yetis disappeared. And even in the following shot, they are very careful not to show anything. So I'm pretty sure this game is going to tell us what really happened. Anyway, after that one, we once again get to see some sliding minigames. Though here they are sliding on the bridge which they made with magic. But then it goes into lesson 4, as the game shows us more Yeti statues and what I hope is not something that represents the eye of a watcher. Well, next outside we can see some ice statues, one of which looks like an icy spiked bear, which definitely sounds like the 1000-pierced bear, which would be Volibear. But then there is also a stag in the background, which seems to have a fishy tail? It would be funny if that turns out to be the Seal Sister, which would also confirm that all of these icy statues are the old gods. Also, it's funny to see that Nunu and Willem are just playfully running around these, which is in contrast to what we get to see next. The Frostguard Citadel. The fortress of Lysandra, which serves as the only wall holding back the Watchers. I have to say, this looks gorgeous. And it gets even cooler when it is revealed that we'll also get to see Lysandra together with her Draklorn warriors. I also love how the Citadel is keeping some of the designs from Aram, such as these classic statues of the Watchers, as well as these really old statues of the original warriors from the armies of the Three Sisters. Needless to say, I am pretty sure this is going to be some kind of an endgame area. But that is where Braum's lessons end, so then everything starts going back. We get to see a part of the Citadel overgrown with magical plants, likely related to the Yetis. Then it zooms out to the wilderness, back through the Yeti villages, around all the scarred places, back through Ornn's forge, back through all the frozen ships. We also get to see some bonus shots of the frozen abyss, including true ice erupting from one of the bridges, Nunu and Willem fighting wolves, more connections of Anivia and the Yetis, and it ends with Willem casting his ultimate. Well, what an adventure this is going to be. This honestly looks really amazing. And to me, it all boils down to the amazing environment. It will be nice to play a chill platformer, all puns intended. It's been a while since I have played some of these casual games. And it's great to know we'll be exploring all the places we know really well. That is what Riot Forge games excel at. And I believe this one will be no different. It is totally not gonna spark up more hype for all the locations we're going to see in the MMO.